Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Monday, the 16th day of January, 2023, Monday of the second week of the year, the second week in Ordinary Time, also the day in which we honor the memory of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. It's a quiet day today on the campus of St. Francis of Assisi, but just wanted to show you what we dedicated yesterday in case you weren't here or you're not in the area or whatever it is. So this is the Memorial Garden over here, and yesterday we finally dedicated, because we have finished it, the columbarium extension. So more dead people, but it's a very lovely extension of the columbarium. So the lighting fixtures and everything else like that. So it's a very well, I'm not looking at anything yet. Oh, now the sun's in my eyes. Okay, so now, so there it is. So it's a wonderful place to come. So more people will be able to be interred here in our columbarium because of this extension, and so it's a nice kind of addition. So again, appreciation for all the donors and all the people, the landscapers, Greg Mason and his crew, and everybody else like that who helped to make this place look beautiful. So on this day of the second week of the year, the beginning of the second week of the year, you might wonder. Yesterday we celebrated, if you're paying attention, the second Sunday in Ordinary Time, and you might wonder whatever happened to the first Sunday in Ordinary Time. That Sunday should have been the baptism of Jesus, but again, because of the way the calendar worked itself out, that fell on a Monday, and really last Sunday was Epiphany for the United States. Last Sunday would have been the second Sunday of Christmas for everybody else, but there was no first Sunday of the year. We kind of lost the first Sunday of the year because of the way the calendar worked itself out this year. So just an amazing tidbit to know. So we are on track. It was not a mistake. We are doing the right thing. So we are in the second week of the year, the second week in Ordinary Time. In that second week in Ordinary Time, we continue again with the letter to the Hebrews. This one talking about priests and priesthood. And it is in the masculine because it is written at a time in which in Judaism, the priesthood was masculine. Now, not every priesthood in the ancient world was masculine. There were women priests to be, connected with the gods and with goddesses and everything else like that. But for Judaism and for Christianity, it becomes sort of male oriented. Now, just overlook that kind of thing, but just realize that two important points that are made about what is priest. That priest is something that is chosen by God, not by the human being, which again opens up all kinds of questions about who then should be able to embrace priesthood if it is something that God calls somebody to and not something that someone chooses. The second point in the letter to the Hebrews is that the priests are supposed to care for the people that they are priests for. They are priests for God, yes, but they're also priests for the people whom they serve. Now, again, sometimes we have this whole idea about being a priest of Jesus Christ. That's all fine and well, but basically you are a priest. You are ordained for the people of God whom you constantly serve, who you give your life over to in service. That is the tangible aspect of this. To serve Jesus Christ by serving one's brothers and sisters is good, and that's the good connection. To just serve Jesus Christ by having private masses and doing all kinds of things that make you and Jesus buddies and nobody else connected with your life is not good, and that's not what priesthood is ever about. It was never supposed to be. In the ancient church, again, the ancient world, the idea of priesthood was to be that person who could mediate between God and human beings. Again, Jesus is the only one who does that, and this letter to the Hebrews is important in saying that. What priests then do, who are human beings, who are not Jesus, are basically to care for those people whom Jesus has helped to have a better understanding of God with, whom Jesus has, the people who Jesus has helped to realize that God is not some kind of overlord or some kind of taskmaster or some person who basically counts all of our faults and failings and does nothing to help us. The help is supposed to come from those who serve the people of God, and that is, what it means to be priest and priests like that. An important thing to remember, an interesting thing that comes out of this letter to the Hebrews today. In the gospel, the question becomes, again, we're still in Mark's gospel, and Jesus is beginning to do things that are different than everybody else has done them before. And because of that, the Pharisees and the scribes get all twisted out of shape, because why is Jesus changing everything, it seems? So he's not fasting the way John the Baptist followers fasted or anybody else fasted. And Jesus is like, again, if it's all about fasting and nothing more, then really fasting isn't doing the job it's supposed to be doing. And I get making the illusion, the fact that the bridegroom is in town. And so why would you fast when there's supposed to be a celebration and feasting? Why should you keep doing the things when you're not recognizing what it is that they're supposed to be leading to, or what it is that God is asking us to receive because of them? That is always important. We can fall back into doing the same routines again and again and again because it's what we've always done. But the question is always, is what we have always done, is what we have always done healthy for us in the end? Does it give us life in the end? Does it give us hope? Does it give us wonder? Does it give us amazement? Because if it doesn't, then it is the old wineskin that needs to be thrown out, so that what is new, what is wonderful, what is glorious, what is undiscovered, what has not been thought of before, what has not been imagined before, what we now can realize as potential or possible now, can be put into our lives, can be put into those new wineskins, so that we might achieve and realize the wonder and glory of this life that God has given us. And may the Lord give you his peace.